Welcome back to the Monterey Sports Car Championships, where the International Motorsports Association is sanctioning all of the events racing here this weekend. And the organization is working hard not just to be a place to race, but a home.
When a team or driver decides to come race with them, so they aren't just choosing a sanctioning body, but rather a family of race series with plenty of room to grow.
The whole aspect of sports car racing is multiple classes and multiple cars with different speeds and different closing rates. The GT3 series has the platinum and gold class. It allows the drivers to get the experience with cars that are faster and slower and that multi-class type racing, and it's very, very key. We like to have them at least have one full year, sometimes two, before they move up. We created what we call our GT Challenge class in the American Le Mans Series for the GT3 guys. I think we've got 4 teams that ran GT3 last year that are in the GTC class. So I hesitate to say we've created a ladder, but we've created a path to where those guys could run GT3 for a couple of seasons and then have a definitive place to go. They can take the same car that they run in GT3 and go to GTC and run in the American Le Mans Series.
But what's after GTC? The most competitive field in sports car racing, the GT class of the American Le Mans Series.
And it's fans like this make it a family moment to get out and enjoy and watch. And there's a father-son duo that are racing in the series today, the Quiros clan. Here's Jamie.
We know that sports car racing has always been a team sport, but this weekend for Amadeo Quiros, it's also a family sport. He's decided to bring his son Amadeo on board. Amadeo, this is your first race weekend in the Patron GT3 Challenge. What do you think so far?
Well, it's been a great weekend. Driving at the same time as my father and enjoying the races and getting both in the podium. I couldn't ask for more.
And Amadeo, this is a big decision to bring your son on board to start racing in a competitive series like this. What goes through your mind when you know he's taking the same green flag you are?
Well, in the beginning, the problem is when I'm in the track, I'm thinking what happened with Amadeo in the other car. But I have much confidence with Amadeo driving. And I like when he rides with me, because we begin in about 15 years ago, race together in a rally when he was 13 years old, and I'm very happy that he raced with me.
And 2 podiums in their first time out. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. A beautiful day here in Monterey. More to come. We're back for a look at the starting grid for the 4th round of the championship. Remember, the grid is established based on fast lap in the previous race. Ross Smith has another pole, but Amadeo Quiros in that chase of Mike Shine ended up getting that spot. Carlisle and Shine will fill out the 2nd row. Row 3, Chris Cumming and Tim Rosengren. He just continues to improve. We go to row 4. It's Jorge Treos and Brent Holden. Even though Baker beat him, Brent turned a quicker lap. Then Peter Lesafra and John Baker will fill out row 5. And as we take a look at row 6, it is Gary Pennington. Now, let's take a look at the lineup for the gold category for cars 2005 to 2009. And Eduardo on another pole. Amadeo Quiros, great run, starts outside of his front row. Kendall Smith and Nick Parker having a superb weekend. Then Enrique Cisneros and Paul Barnard Jr., however, doubtful Paul will be able to take the start because of the damage. Brad Larson and John McMullen fill out row 4. We take a look back at row 5. Blair Chang and Steve Goldman complete row number 5. Row 6 is Nick Jones, who continues to impress, had that great run yesterday, and Jason Carter also coming from well back. Then Dave Smith making his debut in the World Speed team, and he was, of course, joined on that row by Ludovico Manfredi, then Rich Walton and Andre Cisneros, then Michael Aventati and Wes Hoagland complete row 9. Cars lined up on the grid, getting ready for the green flag to start race number 4. Now, due to some scheduling issues, we don't have a lot of racing we can show you, but we do have this shot of the start of race number 4, 2nd of the weekend, as they blast up toward turn 2. And at this point, we're going to hop on board with the number 10 race technique car of Brad Larson and go inside the helmet.
Way back when, my dad was always a car guy, and I had a Porsche when I was 19 years old, and I was always a Porsche lover. I've had multiple Porsches, and kind of start out with Porsche Club events and doing some DE track events, and then it turns into this. I had a couple of buddies in Arizona that when the GT3 RS first came out, the 997, there was 5 of us, and we bought them and emptied them out and kind of created our own space spec series locally, and I raced that car for 2 years in Arizona at NASA events and things like that. And after getting pretty good in that car, you know, went to see what I could do in a cup car. It was a pretty big leap going from a converted street car that has ABS, that has traction control, to a car that has no ABS, no traction control, sequential gearbox. It was a steep learning curve for sure.
And he's doing a very nice job. Now, a guy who's been so impressive this weekend is Michael Shine, but look what happened here. Running very well in this second race, up into turn 11, tends to get a little dusty, picked up the throttle too soon. You see him, he gets over the curve, the car comes around, concrete wall separating the track from pit lane, and he clouded it pretty well. You can see damage to both corners on that right side, and his day was done. That brought out the first of 2 cautions that were going to unfold in this 4th race of the championship, second here of the weekend. When they did get back to racing, there was some good stuff to be had, certainly. But let's take a look now at the finish. Here is Ross Smith coming out of turn 11. Another checkered flag awaits, his 4th win of 4 events to start the season. Perfect from 4 poles. But in the Gold Cup class, a brand new player, Amadeo Quiros Jr. Talk about a proud papa up in the Platinum class, watching his son bring home a win. Remarkable run for the Cisneros team, as well as for Ross Smith and all the competitors. We'll visit with them when we come back. The Patron GT3 Challenge by Yokohama is presented by the Patron Spirits Company, the #1 ultimate tequila in the world, simply perfect. And by Yokohama, where technology drives better tires. And by Speed. Well, with the Monterey Sports Car Championships complete, round 4 in the books, let's take a look at the results in that Platinum class for round 4. Ross Smith, as I said, another great win. Quiros, another good podium. Carlisle holding on to that second place in the points smartly. Chris Cumming, another great drive. Rosengrant up into 5th this time, and Jorge Trejo sits in the 6th spot. We go back to the 7th and beyond. You see Brent Holden this time got the better of John Baker, and then Gary Pennington, Peter Lesafra, and Michael Shine with that incident very early in had to park it. So that's how things unfolded in the Platinum category, and once again, a very busy Jamie Howe has found her way down to visit with our top 3.
Ross Smith, another round in the championship and another flag-to-flag victory. Is this starting to get old yet?
No. It's never going to get old. You know, we've got, I think, 10 more races in us. I was thinking last night about the car, Porsche Motorsports, this 2010 Cup car. You know, there really is no substitute, like they say. And with Patron on board, it's just simply perfect. So, all in all, we made a change from yesterday, and I made the mistake of what we should have done. We were still capable of coming across the, finish line first, but we did a great job.
Amadeo coming home 2nd on the podium, but you have your son who actually just won his race. What kind of emotion are you feeling right now?
Very emotional. It's like a dream that he finished first and I finished 2nd in the podium in Laguna Seca. And it's unbelievable. We are very happy. We are very happy.
I do have my good luck charm. My daughter Caitlin's here, and I got to thank Andrew Davis for getting me here too. We've been working together for 5 years, and he's the best driver coach that's out there. The other thank you I have to give is to Jeff Stone at Kelly Moss. He did an outstanding job. The whole crew put a good car together, so it was easy for me. They make it easy.
Boy, he may have made the move of the race in that first round with that outside pass. Let's check in on the gold category. Quiros Jr., what a great day. And look at the margin for the win. He earned that one for sure. Kendall Smith, Nick Parker up into 3rd. Great return for Nick. Hanik Cisneros rebounding from the problems in that 3rd round. Then Brad Larson, a top 5. Rich Walton finally getting a Walton across the finish line and up into the top 10. Well earned indeed, looking a little bit further back through the pack. And you see there Carlos Eduardo having his issues as well, and the other NGT teammate Ludovico Manfredi struggling as well. Once again, let's check in with Jamie and our top 3.
This is great, a great weekend for me. First race in the Patron Cup, 2nd place, and today a win, and my dad also in the podium. I couldn't ask for more. Thank all the team, my dad, my mom, my sister for supporting me, and this is great. Yeah, pura vida, Costa Rica.
I'm so excited. I mean, the Maxwell Paper Racing team just keeps giving me a very consistent race car. Got to thank Rod Smith, man. He's done everything in the world for me, and I just got to thank everybody. Brian, Ryan, all get me up to speed, man. Everyone just did a wonderful job.
Well, a lot of hard work from the crew. We had a really well set up car, and I followed these 2 guys in front, Amadeus and the Maxwell car, and we had a really clean race. Just kept it on. My crew were really encouraging on the radio. Cantrell Motorsports set me up a great car, and it was well officiated, so it was a great race.
He certainly drove a good one. Let's take a look at the point standings right now. And the platinum category, Ross Smith just burgeoning that margin over Darrell Carlisle. Rosengrant right there in third. Great season for him thus far. You take a look back, Marco Cerrone did not race here. Lasafra, McMullen, Shine. Boy, if he'd run in the opening rounds at Sebring, who knows? And, of course, Rob Walton right there as well. Now let's take a look at the gold standings after 4 rounds. Carlos Eduardo, same thing, opening that margin up. Kendall Smith, still only 8 back in second. Then Enrique Cisneros. Amadeo Quiros Jr., same story. If he'd been at Sebring, who knows? You take a look a little bit further back into the pack. Do you see Amadeo Quiros there? That's because he did run gold at Sebring, now back into the platinum category. And the rest of the pack at this point. And that wraps up our coverage of the Monterey Sports Car Championships in rounds 3 and 4 of the Patron GT3 Challenge by Yokohama. The next time these 2 classes of cars will take to the track is at New Jersey Motorsports Park for 2 more rounds of the championship. Remember, it's a 14-round, 7-venue series, but you get to drop your 2 worst finishes, only 12 counts. So some of the drivers, like Paul Barnhart's moment here, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're out of the championship chase. Want to say a huge thank you to the folks at Patron Spirits Company, to Yokohama Tire and Rubber Company, Porsche Motorsports North America, certainly the International Motorsports Association, and all the volunteers from the Sports Car Club of America and other organizations as well who help make an event like this happen. There you take a look at it, July 17th, 10 p.m., right here on Speed will be the next rounds of the championship from New Jersey. Thanks for joining us here in Monterey. I'm Greg Kramer, and until next time, take care, everybody.